welcome back to another episode of East County Voices. We're two and a half. Well, there's three, but there you go. Now there's three.
Two and a half.
Three of us tonight.
We're here.
What do we got planned tonight?
Just talk to you all.
Um,
I haven't seen y'all in a minute.
I know.
Gavin, I haven't seen in a minute. Don Carlos, haven't seen you in a minute. Gavin's busy doing all these meetings, going places, going to the state, fighting for the people. What else are we doing? Don Carlos, I saw you out at the little supporting the local, the family-owned, small business-owned, like a winery place or something.
Oh, the pork cup. I just
We
went
can
over
talk
there.
about that. Don Gavin. Don Gavin, what are we talking about tonight? You lead us.
So what we're going to be talking about tonight is, what we're going to be talking about is just in general body of like some stuff that's been going on, like with the NAACP been going on. First, we're going to start talking about the convention. And the convention was really nice. The AXA was great. And we just like had like one of those fun good times in Charlotte. It was hot and humid. The bugs were loud, but it was like a good nice like a good nice area. We learned a lot. We loved the AXO program always, of course. We got to meet new people as well as seeing people that we haven't seen in a long time. And we got some of our resolutions passed, one of them being for children in foster care, so we can get more action for and more resources for children that are African American and people of color, more resources that are in foster care because their voices definitely do matter. And then we also talked about some of the things that are going on in our communities. We also started planning some of the things that are going on. And also what we're going to be seeing hopefully a lot more is like us supporting each other, because that is definitely needed right now, especially in this climate. And the other thing was there is so many talented youth. There is crazy, but I would love to see the East County youth here in our little corner of California to be at these programs and these resources, because they absolutely have something to bring to the table, whether they not believe it or not. And I really hope that if you're youth listening, that you would absolutely go and push yourself, because the sky is the limit. So go out and do something that you've never done before.
That's beautifully said. I love the topics that we're going to cover tonight because we can get deeper into them. But for the audience out there that doesn't know about the NAACP, it is a nonprofit organization. It's been around for some time. It's got a lot of history. There's different chapters. Join your local chapter, or just join a club, join some community something, because there's always good people out there doing good things. But tell us, Gavin, what is the NAACP? What does it stand for?
It stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Color People. So what we do is we advocate, we agitate, and we educate, because we now need, in this day and time, we now need to be moving more than ever. We still need to get justice for what has been done to us. We still need justice for like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, and Lamar Baldwin. We need justice for the veterans that felt like they didn't have a voice. One of them being the Port Chicago 50. They need a voice. There still needs to be justice being there served to them too. And if we don't have our backs, who will?
Mhm. No, absolutely. So many names that the list goes on and on in our local community too, local and abroad. Angelo Quinto, I just rewatched a video from 2024 after a hearing, and First Voice Media, our very own Frank Sterling, was able to interview, um, talk to, document, and interview with the Angelo Quinto family. And that was a year ago of what transpired in that courtroom. And I never listened to the full details, but it was, oh my gosh, just such a mix of feelings that is this real life, that like, how far up is the cover up, or will the cover up go for the murders of multiple people in our community? And the fight of Mr. Collins, he was saying like their fight continues, not just for them, for like their lawsuits and settlements. There's no amount of money that can make up for a lost child, but to fight for many more, many more. And they've passed legislation. They're gonna keep going. We're gonna have to reshare that video so that if you don't know what happened, yeah, this violence on our community was very real. And thank you, Gavin, for breaking that down on what you fight for. You, what is it? You agitate.
Advocate, agitate, and educate.
Yes, it's beautiful. Um, what else? We go till there was another shooting today. It was at a Fort Sill, but let's not talk about national news. Never mind. That's going to be depressing. Local stuff. Didn't something happen recently? There was an interview at a church.
Yes, the superintendent.
Yes, tell us about that. Tell us about her. I read her bio, and man, whoo, is she overqualified? That's exactly what our little corner in Contra Costa County needed. So
Yeah, someone was asking me about the new superintendent, the new city manager, and the police oversight commission, and I think it's time we give them time to grow and just see what they do. I think it's time to let qualified people. It's been overtime for qualified people
oh yeah.
to actually be up there and not just oh, I'm gonna just wing it and fake it until I make it, or just do. I'm not qualified, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just know I need to just discriminate and discriminate and discriminate. And people that discriminate against other people is just it's just like they don't have nothing else better to do with their life.
Let's go further into the discrimination. Yes, let's get, I mean, you think like discrimination from back in this, we're in 2025. We're in 2025. We had freaking jobs that were getting paid salaries in seats both in the city of Antioch and the school board, in positions where there wasn't a service or there wasn't a physical person. And so, and then the exclusivity of who they hire, who they don't hire. It's been a very tight network for a very long time, but it's like, what qualifications do you have to be teaching and doing? And then here you have other qualified people applying actively and then not getting the jobs. There was specific ones that happened in Antioch. But yeah, I mean, and then to the kids, hello, like we live in a very beautifully diverse community where everyone's from all over the Bay. And really the teachers should also kind of reflect that culturally. emotionally, just being understanding of each other's cultures and not being, I don't want to say a derogatory term, but unfortunately, Karens have been coined a certain way, and they're, just older people that, like, for instance, the one that painted her face black for Halloween and did a black face, that was racist. I don't care what anybody says. But I hope that she got trained, retraining, something. But I know she's back in the school district working still. Now, what, why? Is there no cultural sensitivity and awareness to how that was used back in the day?
No, and it's not just like how I don't know if it was Antioch High or Pittsburgh High, but
Mhm.
it was one of the high schools around here. That one of the kids walked in the school in a Klan outfit.
Oh, I remember that.
hmm But no justice was done to them. It was just okay. Don't do it again. Otherwise, X, Y, Z. You just like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's not okay, but it's fine. But yet, if we so much as walk around in our hands in our pants, we are accused of having a weapon. We're accused of being a villain. We are automatically getting suspended, and we're automatically getting expelled. It's when it comes to African American youth, it's like we don't matter. It's like more of like we just, especially the African American boys, they get the rough of it, and they are, and whether if they did it or not, they're just, that's why it's just like it's so bad and it's so wrong. But they treat African American young boys like they're nothing. And it's really sad and disheartening. And the way they treat them, like, it's it's like I don't understand why the community I don't know why, like, people in power. I don't know why the school board, super, like, I don't know why school boards or like people in power, or not even school boards or people in power, but city council members or even people on a higher level are not looking into the school systems and the way they treat African American boys, because it is surreal. And when these elected officials walk in and come in, everybody's on their best behavior. And if the student catches that or tries to say something, oh, they say, oh, that's just a troubled teen. He's going, we need, we're working on suspending him, or we're working on getting him an expulsion. That's literally how they move. But they don't be, it's like they only see the videos, and they don't even always see the videos, whether we were right or wrong. There was one video that went around during, I guess, during the pandemic, where the teachers snatched something of the students, and that was wrong. And there's more videos out there like that, and it's not to bash teachers and administration, because there absolutely are good teachers out there. I'm addressing the bad apples that don't get any accountability and still walk around in those schools, and parents and other administrations and everybody think it's cool for them to keep walking around and teaching. To me, if you attack young African Americans to this degree, especially African American boys, then you know all I could do is just pray on their soul, because I just hope that God has mercy on your soul, because what you're doing is wrong. I am not to judge, but what you're doing is wrong, and you do need to be held accountable. And I hope one day that accountability does happen.
Yeah, we're all about accountability here. We're about advocacy, activism, inspiring. Bad apple teachers stereotype and fear African American students and parents in some places. That's the norm. And oh my God, when you were speaking, Gavin, I just remembered the look on this principal's face as like a little boy was, no, she was like a vice principal. And this, beautiful young little boy, little beautiful black boy crying, something was wrong. She just looked at him. She couldn't go up to him and say, hey, little man, like, what's up? I knew him through like friends, somebody's nephew. So I was like, hey, Jordan, like, what's up? All he wanted was like a hug, something. But the way that teacher just could not empathize with this little boy in that moment, that hurt. That hurt so much. And I did complain. I called and I said, hey, you know how I am. If there's an issue or whatever, like I try to get to it. But this is a freaking, this is embedded and rooted, and thinking about like how our administration is, we've come a long way in Antioch because there's been a drastic change with the way they communicate to the families via apps, via computer, via their website. Like there has been very visible change in, yes, accountability in all areas. Mm-hmm. ¿Qué más? I was going off on a tangent about the school and our district. We've come a long way. They try to silence those that were voting towards ethical standards. Like we had people that were paying their own people to write articles to keep trying to keep positive news about the school district using LCAP funds that were supposed to go to the kids. Yes, things like that. With the East County publisher, oh no, it's Contra Costa News, that he's a publishing site. Yeah, he has a big, great, massive following. But it's the same following that promotes the recalls against African American elected officials for so long.
Mm-hmm. But yet we're not going to talk about the elected officials that be doing it or playing the part in it. Like what Stephanie Nello did. What
She did.
And what she didn't do. What Kenneth Turnage did. What those police officers did.
Yep.
What
they would
the city manager in Antioch did and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And act like they didn't know.
No, you mentioned some very big names, and just for our audience to understand, we had a superintendent who had a friend, the same like Back the Blue police crew, the police that abused our Black and brown community for many years. Those people were getting paid with school funds. They had full salaries while doing just questionable things on campus and not doing what needed to be done, like putting your colleague's work desk on top of a roof just because. And then it's so deep, you guys, that these people were going to oversee, I believe it was $2 billion in a bond measure when he owns his own business, and that's the contract that worked with the school. Like, it's just too many people in each other's pockets that are way up there and exclusive, and they're never actually using funding towards resources that kids actually need. It's just crazy. Like somebody recently was asking, where is Kenneth Turnage? Where is he now? I don't know. The last I heard was that from somebody at the school board was that he was advised by his friend to appeal whatever it was, because I don't know. But he also left his office with a cardboard box of things while he was already on administrative leave, and he got paid a lot of money. I don't get it. And he's the same guy that tore up some protest signs that we made during our protests on a desk on a whole other roof outside, just because they could do whatever they want. I mean, they're getting paid their salaries. They got paid a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, was it worth it? That's the everyone wants to know. Was it worth it?
When will there be accountability? There were folks that spoke up and shared a lot of info about the way administrators were using student information to then just sit around and laugh. And then someone else that I found online, anonymous, was saying that the woman that lives next door to the beautiful Black family that's constantly harassed and terrorized, well, she used to work in the school district. Nicole Sedano Silva, something White, used to work in the school district. And there was an anonymous person that spoke on how her son's records were accessed, and something was done with it. Like, but how? But nothing was done with what happened to the access to that information. People probably still haven't come forward of what they experienced in discrimination, for language barriers, mental health barriers, disability barriers, colors of the skin barriers. It's a lot. It's so much. But we have a new administration.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said we just gotta give them time and give them a chance to work together.
Yes, yes, yes. One of the biggest updates that I saw when the school district rebranded their website, there was a paragraph about a whole page long getting into how they will not discriminate, they will not violate, that they will not there's all kinds of discriminations that were not acceptable, and it was a big list. And I thought, okay, usually when there's an administration that puts out a big message or something like that, it's because there's trends and patterns of behavior that existed for a very long time intentionally. Our kids got forgotten for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. Yes, we need a lot of that. And we have some heavy hitter leadership on equity and inclusion on the school board. Not all, because unfortunately there's still folks that have done some great things in the community, I'm sure, but also was very cozy in their political agendas and misuse of funds. And but like I said, it's a new administration. And from what I've seen so far, the majority is for the babies, for the kids, and asking all the right questions.
I would say this: some people are actually here to do work, and some people are just in it for the show.
Okay. Yeah.
They just want the curtain call, the title, just say I did it, and won't do nothing a part of it. But when there's work that actually need to be done, and you're in a leadership position, how are you going to answer that?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to answer questions that need to be answered? How are you going to answer the questions, the tough questions, and you supposed to be the leader and you don't know what's going on?
And there's a lot that we
do leader and say you don't march.
Oh, that's a whole other. I mean,
No,
and that,
it's still the same thing, because if you can't march for your people, if you can't stand up for your people, what are you doing as a leader?
Sitting cozy,
right? And if you can't, because I'm sorry, but if you are taking a leadership position and you're sitting idly by and talking about youth don't have the right to vote, youth don't have the right to do anything,
that's scary.
and you using supremacist language, and you're using like hateful, and yet you're a leader. You are a leader.
That's not a leader. No, that's not.
To me, it's a coward.
Absolutely.
You're a shame in the community. You're not going to really grow much in life, but yet you want to run for other higher seats, but yet you ain't doing the work. How'd that go?
We got to do, in order to lead, you got to do the work. But our actions speak louder than words,
Right.
and that's it. Our actions speak louder than words. There was a comment. Can you put that back up, Don Carlos? They need to feel the urgency of the community and the community's needs. Yeah, because then what happens is it's just, I don't know, there is work to do, but if community voices don't go and demand and ask, which I will say, when I watched the school board a couple months ago, I was very inspired in the leadership of teachers that spoke up. But one of them really made a comment like, they're like, well, why did you go to your in the military we call it chain of command. I forgot what the word was, but pretty much, and his response was, there was no communication between the teachers and that whatever leadership. No, it wasn't really an option. And when you can't communicate and share information, do better about existing systems, whether it's in the school or an organization or a society, then what you doing?
Right. And once there is no communication, what do you expect the people to do? They went to protest. They went to go picket. They went to stand up. That's what they do. That's their right to do. That's your First Amendment right. So
Yeah. And there's people that are like, oh, what's holding a sign gonna do? Well, it raises a message. It raises a message and awareness.
and it's going to get people to start talking.
Yeah. And
And
we
hopefully
cannot stop talking. We cannot stop talking about what happened in the city of Antioch. We cannot.
No.
To the homeless, to the houseless folks that were terrorized and harassed,
To the African American community, to the youth,
the youth.
to
Carlos lost a friend, a couple friends.
Yeah. Out there. They're still being harassed too. Oh, we got this one.
In some schools, it was a free for all. Ooh. Tell us more. Tell us more, because you know what? A couple years ago, someone said, I heard from someone who were actively deleting like files, for instance, deleting files. But the thing is, I just hope that the DOJ, when they did their investigation, I hope that they looked at the ties to the school district and how the police were weaponized against families with a plethora of restraining orders for concerned parents because they could not communicate. Yep. You were saying though, like, I know you fed our houses community more than just our houses community, our community in general, and you've been on the streets with them, prayed with them, and
Yeah, I'm on the streets every day with them.
Yeah.
So I just want to, and right now I got I don't know so there's all these backpack drives, and all the kids going back to school and they're getting brand new backpacks. And I did ask everybody out there for their old backpacks, because the people on the streets have been asking me for bags and backpacks and all that. So, I have to pick up some tomorrow. But yeah, if you have a backpack, an old one, that would be great. And you're like, what do I do? Well, hit me up, or Miss Patty or Gavin here.
One broken, fully two. Yes, because it's intimidating. The overwhelming emotion and I guess ambience and the Antioch Unified School District during
Tomato.
all of those many school boards that we attended was the fear for retaliation. And retaliation by losing their job, retaliation by who knows what. And somebody had said that they weren't going to seek pressing charges against Turnage because they were just scared. He's the one that said he was going to pay the dump fees. I'm going to quote him. He was going to pay the dump fees to have the district attorney that's getting recalled by some folks to have her body dumped in a landfill. Like, how bold do you have to be to make threats like that? That is what's just atrocious and disgusting and truly scary.
Not just that, but like think about all the text message scandal. It ain't no different. How they would hang the past mayor and have a steak dinner for it, or calling our African American men gorillas and our African American women water buffaloes. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. It is.
they were so bold with it. They talked about how they was beating and assaulting people's kids, their children, these mothers' children, these fathers' children. And I'm sorry, but if you a parent, you gonna and they're talking about your child like that, I don't see how a parent can sit idly by and stay quiet. And that's what makes me question a couple of the leaders at that time that knew about it. Because don't you have kids? Why didn't you stand up?
Got a question. Do you guys feel that, and I guess I could just say it about Antioch or just in general, but do you guys feel that the racist people now are a dying breed, or you think like the ones that like the Antioch people or that we say are racist? Would you say they're the older generation that are dying off now, and that we have like their kids may not be as bad?
Not. Absolutely not. No, that shit is handed down.
I know racism is taught. Yeah,
it absolutely is. Absolutely is.
And I'm gonna say this. You usually most, not all, but most homophobic people that have a lot of hate usually are in the closet themselves. So that's saying something. As far as racist people, I believe if you are a racist and you are truly believing in that, it kind of make me think that, oh, did you wish you were born black? Sorry, you weren't born black. It's just jealousy. And I don't know why people can't live in their truth, why they don't like to live in their truth. And that's sad. That's saddening to me. If you can't live in your truth and stand in your truth, then to me, I'm sorry, you are not a man to me. You're not a woman to me. You're still a child. We have nothing to discuss. I'm a grown man. I stand in my truth. A grown man stands in his truth. A grown woman stands in her truth.
Yeah. I feel like I know a couple racist people and I don't hate them. I'm so like, I love people. I understand different generations, but at the end of the day, racist people do not belong around any kids or in any kind of teaching positions. To be around, that is so dangerous and harmful. Racist people do not belong in positions of power because then they put out racist policies. It's racism is going to exist and it gets handed down. It's not dying off anytime soon. And especially like in the comment with the current administration, that's what they're thriving on. Supremacy, white supremacy. It's a real thing, but so is supremacy in general. where folks just want to be part of this exclusive whatever, better than everybody else because they're educated or because they, I don't know, aren't homeless or because they don't do drugs. Like every excuse they use to minimize people and communities, it's like it's just so ass backwards. But then there's also amazing organizations that are truly doing actionable things to restore some sense of equality by uplifting communities and people, because we are I was putting up statues. Oh yeah, there's a statue. Yeah, those are facts. Yep.
Mhm.
I lost my thought, but yeah, the love will conquer, and I have faith in good people out there that understand how dangerous it is to allow violent people or people that just think they're better than others in positions with weapons and guns and policies. Like, what's her name? Epstein's boo that said that Trump is had nothing to do or whatever. She's about to walk free. Are y'all tracking with the Epstein files and all that?
Mm-hmm.
It's really like accountability in America right now is as so ass backwards.
Right, but yet we're gonna find left and right that hold accountable all the black men that did something or didn't do anything.
Sorry, why? Why? What'd I say? um, that um, I empathize with everyone. Maybe I don't know.
And I, I'm just like, I don't really care for people that are racist. I really don't. And some
Bad for
people,
them.
and then there's some people that will come up to me and be like, you have to hear everybody out. No, no, no. I can't do that. I can't. I'm not that type of person. I don't sit. I don't. I'm not the type of person that's going to sit there and listen to a racist person talking about how they feel how they feel like it's unjust, and especially in America. Like, I don't know if you guys have you heard the story behind Sears.
You were on mute, Miss Petty.
Oh yeah, you were on mute.
I was just saying for the racists at a distance, but like I came across them not too long ago. They were just they were so angry that this handsome, tall black man like won something like a prize, and this little elderly like couple, they just looked at each other and they just kept nodding their heads and I was watching them like, what am I really seeing this right now? And I just felt for them. I was like, oh, like I feel so bad. Like that sucks to have that just embedded in your heart. Like but like at a distance, you know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, right. So America right lifts up racist. Oh, yeah, that's kind of like, oh, it's so, oh my gosh, let's talk about that. It's like, but I mean, before Trump was, before he was president, didn't we know he was a sicko and a pedophile assaulting women? But yet people still voted for him. It's
I
just,
mean, hey,
it's crazy. But
but
politics, policies is what matters. And man, these policies are, woo, harmful to the communities.
I had
Harmful.
to spell America that way. Sorry.
I mean, talking about immigration and immigrants, the first lady's an immigrant. and,
Exactly.
and they're deporting people that were born here. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started, y'all. I'm going to shut up now.
did you get to see where did you guys hear about the story about Sears?
No,
How,
tell us about yours.
okay, so the original owners were two white men, and because they're one of their main profits, they got them one of their main profits from African Americans, and that's how they really made their money because no one was really buying them but African Americans. So they decided to profit off African Americans. So because this was during Jim Crow era, the Klan and the racist people were trying so hard that they um canceled their mailing list, so they had to go through the direct post office. I guess the direct post office to do it, and or you have to come or you have to call their number, something like that. You have to call their number directly to get one of their catalogs, and then also had to they also had to prove that they was white. These were two young white men that made a, a huge company and had to prove themselves to be white. They had to send pictures out to the newspaper and everything to prove that they was white because people would start rumors talking about it's black people that do it, so we need to burn their store down to the ground and doing all and talking about they need to do all these things, and they're like, y'all wouldn't support us. It was they said it'd be your own. It was like their own people didn't support them, so what did you expect them to do? They had to make a living some type of way. Now you mad because they made money? Make that make sense. There's a whole video on it. I have to find it.
Welcome, Dr. Peyton. Thank you for
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. How are you?
Doing well. I mean, as well as we can be with all this, everything that's happening in the world. You know, how are you?
No, it's really scary. You don't get to break and something else happened. Today they grounded all the United's flights, and you can't help but wonder, was it something wrong or was it really just a United problem? So I don't know.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. We are living in unpredictable times for sure. But
Yeah,
I saw you.
Huh?
I saw you the other day on a. It looked like you were doing some interviews. Of the new superintendent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how did that go?
That went good. I actually have a meeting with her coming up to talk about some concerns. When she first came on, before I guess her official start, we kind of talked, and I didn't want to like scare her away, but I just wanted to tell her that there are some serious things going on in the district that I felt we need to talk about sooner than later. And I didn't want to blindside her because the same as I told a few other people, I'm just going to keep coming. I'm just going to keep coming subtly and bringing up these issues. I know that we need to give some people time to make change. And for me, as long as I see that they're heading in that direction, then we're in a good space. But sometimes we all have to admit people get in seats and then they stall out. They get the seat and then they kind of fizzle out. But I don't think that's her. I think that Dr. Williams is really going to make a difference. I think she made a good step by wanting to hear from the community. I know some people kind of wanted to really throw hard questions, but I think she does need to get acclimated to this space and this area. This district, like many others, have so many, hard problems to solve that she's going to need time.
Oh yeah.
This is one big massive apple that she's about to bite. And
yeah,
I don't envy her at all, especially since there's those few bad apples that overshadow all the good that people do. So I don't know, but I think she's gonna do good. I do. I think that we should all do more to bring more of the community there. So I think when they have a meeting the next month, all the community-based organizations need to be trying to fill that room.
Oh yeah.
So that everybody can know that their voice is heard
Yeah.
and feel empowered. Because too many times I run into people, they say nobody's gonna listen to me, or I'm just mom, but that's not true. Your voice matters. Everybody's voice matters. So
Absolutely. And then to the parents out there that, hey, it's been a long day at work and you cannot make it to the school board meeting. Hey, they're live, but you can also write to them. They have emails. You can write to.
yep, they do. I was just talking to Dr. Jag, and I said, Dr. Jag, some parents, I heard that a couple of times, and I told them the same thing I told Gavin when we were first going to the doctor. I said, you know what you should do? Get a notebook, write down your question, so that either the next time, through my chart, however you're going to communicate, you can send them your question. And I think that they should do that, especially sometimes you never know when you should have been in a situation where you were documenting things, because you don't know when you're going to get that one teacher to mess things up. Because from what I saw, there are some really, really awesome schools in Antioch with some really good teachers, and it just takes one bad experience to make you forget about all those bad things because you feel like you're in a fight.
Within the district.
Yeah, because education's serious, right? Nobody wants to raise their kid to be a cool fool,
Right.
or somebody who doesn't know anything. Education is serious.
Yes.
Every parent should take education serious.
Absolutely.
Your kid's not educated, where are they going to go? How are they going to survive? How are they going to live?
Yeah.
Education is real.
And that's the systemic thing. It's like, it's always what happened in Antioch, years of lack of resources. And I'll give an example. Free lunch, free food started in COVID. Okay. Then until recently, my kid was in kindergarten 3 years ago. And yes, now there's free breakfast and lunch for the kids. Great. Because there's families that struggle and can't feed their little ones. But yet it took so long, so long for the administration to kind of open a little bit. Like, it was almost intentional to not put these resources in the schools for so long.
But some of those same kids, Patty, they don't when they leave school on Friday, they don't even eat again until they come back on Monday.
I know.
Some of those kids, they don't, they're filling up on Friday, and when they come Monday, schools are giving out twice as much food because kids are hungry.
Yeah. So that was a beautiful thing. That was one. But there's so much more, like counselors on the campuses, funding for that. It's been so much. And even just the website, making it user friendly. Now there's more apps where teachers can connect to the parents. Like, all of these little things using technology to empower parents were not provided until the last few years.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It
should be. Parents are in survival mode. I was at just the other day, I was at a meeting. And actually it was somebody who came to the thing in Antioch. And they were like on this blame the parent mission. And I was like, I don't think you can blame the parents. Most parents are their kid's first teacher. And most parents are grounded in this bedroom community, and that they have to work to survive, keep a roof over their head, clothes on their kids' back. They're trying. Even low-income and homeless parents are trying. It's not that they don't want to be a model parent. They're giving it their all in their current state of poverty, and poverty is real. And until we have empathy to recognize poverty, we're going to keep having some problems connecting with folks. And teachers need that. They need to know, they need to have empathy for their families. Because if you're hungry, Or if you're worried about being homeless, how can you focus on school?
That's facts. And then things going on at home, that the school should be the safe space where kids want to go.
Yeah.
And shout out to the good teachers that provide that for the kids. Because, yeah, we do have some amazing teachers in our district. My doggy, Pinocchio, he needs me. Let's see, we have another 10 more minutes. What else? What else? Oh, how's the movement on the African American Holistic Wellness Hub? And I saw Miss Gigi's like fundraising and putting in her own, investing in the community.
You know, I'm going to
Trying.
say this because I know people, watch the show when they have chance. So I'm going to just say this for the record. I think that Gigi Crowder is doing an awesome job. I am not dissing that the County Board of Supervisors want to do their role. But even though I don't live in Antioch, that community is hurt. And I recognize that. I recognize that as a county citizen. And services are needed there. So my hat is off to her for getting it going with her own money and making a difference. I think that was a really good thing. I think that it's an awesome thing that she's bringing community resources in one space. I think it's a good start. I think that it would be nice if the county recognized that in a good way, because after all, even though money went out, some places are doing services, it still needs a hub space. And while they're going to redo their building or fix it up, they still have to do that, right? But that doesn't negate that services need to happen now. And so I think it's a really good thing that she did this, because at least it's an option. And it's better than the other option, which is no space. So I think it's an awesome thing she did. I think she should be commended. And I think for a lot of us, we get it. But there's some naysayer troublemakers out there that feel like she was doing it for some self-recognition, but that doesn't make sense because she's not asking for recognition for her. She's talking about services for other people. And if you're advocating for services for other people, that's real advocacy. So I'm just not paying attention to those that are haters, and I feel like they're jealous. I feel like we need to just keep it moving.
I love your attitude. I love it. We got to keep it moving. And it's sad that people will, out of like spite or because they feel like, oh, they want to be this big person, so I'm not going to help. It's just,
Yeah.
but yeah, otherwise we wait for how long? Like, there's no denying the trauma. And especially how, there's a word for it, like for being such a small city, the gravity of it is immense. It's in the city, in the school district, from the police department. It happened for a very long time.
It's woven all through there, and you don't. If people can't recognize that, then I think that's a problem.
Concentrated. That's the word. It's very concentrated of that greed, corruption, haterism.
It is. And people need to just recognize that this is a problem. It is a fact. We can stop sugarcoating it. This is real. This is happening. And we need to do something about it.
We can't minimize the crimes that occurred, the civil rights violations, the human rights violations for generations, for decades probably. It cannot be minimized. And I feel like a lot of them are getting away because, yeah, people got they think that, it got out, the scandal, this and that. It wasn't a scandal. This was intentional, hurtful communications and organized crime by people that were supposed to protect our community.
But I don't understand how people couldn't connect the dots. Because here's the thing. Those people that did harm or people that witnessed it and didn't want to say anything, their families were also harmed. They live here. So they carried their harm with them to the next episode. So whether that be they carried it to school, they carried it to work, they carried it with them. You don't, if somebody goes through trauma and they're raised up in trauma, they think trauma is normal. They don't know that trauma is not normal. And for those who are traumatized and know that trauma is not normal, they still took it with them. So it was like a cancer. It infected the next space, whether that was school, the workplace, the city, whatever. It was like a cancer. And until we treat the cancer and get rid of it, we're going to have to stay on the soapbox.
Oh, yeah. No, literally. It's like a cancer. There was a school board meeting, and I sensed some, it was very, what's the word, contentious. It was very, it was something. And there was a mediator, and they couldn't speak so much on certain things. And there's so much more that we don't know, that unless you're there in the school board and you're like listening, you pick up on the key things, like administrators getting paid hella money to not do work, or having these positions, these empty seated positions, but paying for those salaries, or using bond measures and LCAP funds for like their own, like it's so much, so much. And I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I think that we just need to start holding people accountable and not letting them come up for air. And I know that seems hard, but I think we just need to keep it going.
Keep it 100 and keep it going.
Yeah, because that's the only way that change is going to come. And for those people who say that they're with us, but they're not with us, we need to start calling them out.
Okay.
We need to start calling them out and dismissing them. Because sometimes you hear people say all skin folk is not kin folk. Some people are just here going through the motions to make it seem like they care. And if they don't, it's time for us to let them know they need to exit the train now. There's no more room. Just go somewhere else with that.
We're on a train to progress and progress and real, like, I want to use the term liberation of our community. That's with real social change and policies for people. It's so much, but thank you for your steadfast leadership and being in spaces and a trusted community person where people can reach out and talk to you. You're very approachable, and you've been in this, you've been witnessing, you're a voice for the people, you're a mother, so many amazing things. So I'm just grateful for this new chapter in our little county. It's going to take some time, but at least we have leaders like yourself, like Miss Elder Gigi Crowder, that, like she said, like in the campaign, that we can't wait for our communities to heal. The county will take forever and a year, forever and 2 years, for all we know.
Yeah, it's bureaucracy, and I get it, and I know that they're in the right place. Like, I don't have anything to say bad about the Board of Supervisors, so I get the process. I get they need accountability. I get they need people to, they have to answer to, right? I get that. I get that there's citizens who are going to make trouble if they don't take the steps they're taking. I totally get that. I'm for it, but I just think we need to just be glad that Gigi Crowder is stepping up to the plate to start making that bridge happen. So.
Yes, Gavin, any thoughts?
Yes.
Time. Carlos, bring up that flyer when you can later.
Yes, let's bring up the flyer. One, I am super proud of Elder Gigi Crowder for doing the work that she's doing. She's an amazing trailblazer. And if you guys are free on the 8th, please come show up and see what the work she's done. This is the urgency. She's urgent. She's active. She wants to do it. We're, I think some people are just really tired of waiting and they just want to see action. And it's the time we get that action. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the Champions for Youth banquet that's coming up on September 13th. Get your tickets now. They're running fast. The early bird tickets, you got to get them. We're selling them at $70 by August 10th. It goes up to 100. So please get your tickets now. We are some of our special guests that are going to be speaking. We're having the state California Hawaii NAACP state president Rick Calendar as one of the special guest speakers. We're also having um, we're also going to be having our honorees there. Our honorees this year is Mr. Willie Moffitt Jr., um, Mr. Chi Rothschild, and Mr. Sean Sturgis. And we also have Miss Frances Green, who are all been doing work in the community, advocating for youth, showing up for youth, and showing it where it means matter.
And there's a member of Congress trying to get in on the program.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we're getting Amber Alerts. There's
The thing.
yeah,
What's the Amber Alert?
it's the so it's a silver
James
alert activated in the highway patrol on behalf of the Antioch Police Department.
Oh, sorry.
James Huso is missing and endangered. James Huso was last seen on August 5th, 2025 in Antioch, Contra Costa County. Click just click the link for more additional information.
He was on West 10th Street.
Yeah.
Is someone's in danger?
Yeah, it's a 75-year-old man who's 5'10", 210 pounds, brown hair, black eyes, glass wearing, black t-shirt, blue jeans, purple Crocs. And he was missing from 10th and O in Antioch.
Okay.
Mm.
Hopefully he gets home safely. Okay, with the Amber Alerts, okay.
Yeah. Exciting for the night.
Gotta stay up to date, you know, like it's good.
If you're not awake, you awake now.
Oh, well, so nice seeing you guys. It's always a pleasure to catch up and keep up with community happenings and beautiful things ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And thank y'all for being on the show tonight. I really do appreciate it. It was a good show, very informative. Yeah, we got down. Thank you guys. Any last words before we say goodnight?
Thank you, Carlos. Thank
you.
you, Patty.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight, everybody. This is East County Voices. You can catch us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that alert button so you know it tells you when our show comes on, like an hour before or something like that. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. You guys have a good night. God bless.
God bless.